To all Muslims, the holy month of Ramadan is special, with the 30 days of fasting giving room for demands from Muslims in the Islamic injunctions. Hence, the spiritual ambience that incorporates demands such as charity, piety, community spirit that defines this period makes it a peaceful and welcoming time, not only for the Islamic faithful, but for everyone in the community. The messages of the holy month are not meant for the period of Ramadan alone, but for all times. And in these messages, Muslims are admonished by Islamic scholars to practice the teachings. Since the conviction is that the holy month makes Muslims attain a better spiritual disposition, making them closer to Allah, then the awareness of this spiritual obligation to themselves, others, and the community must become a definition of a Muslim character wherever they find themselves. On Panorama today, we shall be focusing on how to maintain the life of humility, piety, charity beyond Ramadan with the help of an Islamic scholar to guide us through later on in the program. You can follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on the screen. I am Hinginu John Adams. Thanks for joining us. Now, the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, forecast that weather conditions in April will be hot across the country, with temperatures potentially reaching as high as 42 degrees Celsius in the northern regions of the country. In a statement, the agency indicates that these high temperatures will cause significant thermal discomfort across many states. It predicts that central and northern states will face a higher risk of heat exhaustion and heat stroke, while southern states will also experience heat stress. NIMET further reports that coastal areas will see temperatures warmer than average, while central and northern states will experience slightly elevated temperatures. Rainfall is expected in coastal states such as Delta, Bayelsa, Rivers, Imo, Anambra, Cross River, and other southern regions. The Weather Monitoring Agency warns of an increased risk of malaria in southern states and parts of Kwara, Kogi, and Benue due to heightened mosquito activity. Additionally, there is a meningitis alert for the extreme north, where conditions are conducive to outbreaks. Heat-related illnesses, including heat exhaustion and heat stroke, are anticipated in the central and northern regions. Now, talking celebrations, despite the two-day public holiday declared by the federal government to celebrate Eid al-Fitr, Lagos residents are still busy going about their day-to-day activities. Adejoke Odeka, who took a drive round town, completes the report.
The ever-bubbling and busy city is devoid of the usual human and vehicular traffic as Muslim faithful celebrate Eid al-Fitr. While some Lagos residents were seen going about their daily activities, others, having fasted during Ramadan, are grateful and hopeful for the blessings ahead.
Things are a bit different this time around, but still we manage it. So we thank Almighty Allah. We're able to enjoy it to a certain extent.
It means I'm going somewhere now. I'm going to my daughter's house at Ikorodu now, so I want to go and enjoy myself there.
After going for the Eid prayer, went back home with family, celebrated it. It was okay.
A drive to a major motor park shows travelers were few, though it is a public holiday. Roadside traders were all about their businesses.
Let us keep thanking God. People are patronizing commercial vehicles, but it is not as much as it used to be because of the public holiday.
For many Nigerians, the significance of public holidays should not be underestimated because it creates bonding time for family and friends, which is an essential part of healthy living. The federal government had declared March 31 and April 1 as public holidays to celebrate Eid al-Fitr. In Lagos, Adejoke Odeka, NTA News.
Meanwhile, public holidays enable friends and families to bond together, with some traveling very far to show love and make the best of the day. The story isn't different in Abuja as Muslims celebrate the Eid al-Fitr holiday. Annie Daniels will tell us more.
These children celebrate Salah. From all indications, none of them noticed her presence.
We now also bring in our own children, our grandchildren, and neighborhood children to let them mingle with each other. They're not even going for the food, they're going for the toys.
Just like other children that happen to be with their parents, what they need is care, concern, love, and support.
The spirit of Salah is to bring people together and celebrate those that have and those that not have.
Indeed, the healing word is love.
I love to see them playing around and they're enjoying themselves. I actually feel for the people that don't have parents that are here, because I have parents and I hope God will give them what they want.
These young ones are walking very fast to the Millennium Park.
I wanted to open my eyes. That's why I made up my mind I will come to Millennium Park.
The Millennium Park was a beehive.
The old, the young, everybody is relating well. So I'm happy to be here.
Sometimes we stay inside at home bored, so we just decided to come out here and just enjoy ourselves.
Abuja residents attest to the fact that most people are making the best of the Salah holiday. In Abuja, Annie Daniels, NTA News.
Imbibing the spiritual ethos of Ramadan as yardstick for every Muslim is the actual goal of the spiritual exercise. These are views of Islamic scholars and faithful as they fulfill one of the most important injunctions of Islam. Lanre Belei has details.
Ramadan is one of the defining moments of a Muslim, a time to express spiritual expectations. It is also a call to action to demonstrate the beliefs of Islam, grounded in the fear of Allah in a 30-day fast. With this obligation stated and understood by Islamic faithful, making this a standard of living should become the goal of every Muslim.
After Ramadan, let us continue to be our neighbor's keeper. Let us show good hands and good fellowship to our neighbors.
So goodness doesn't end with Ramadan. It's just the time to say, let's re-emphasize it.
These things that we did during the month of Ramadan should continue after the month of Ramadan. We should continue to worship God. We should continue to be of good behavior, to do whatever is expected of us as a good Muslim.
Muslims are convinced that performing pious acts during Ramadan is fundamental, as great rewards from Allah await those who made the spiritual awakening of Ramadan their everyday life, which they describe as an epitome of a true believer of Islamic faith. In Lagos, Lanre Belei, NTA News.
And to discuss further on sustaining Ramadan lessons beyond the holy month, I have with me Abdurrahman Lawal, an Islamic scholar. You're welcome to the program.
Yeah. Good afternoon.
All right, talking about the lessons of Ramadan, is there need to evaluate one's performance during Ramadan by looking at critically at where one needs to improve or what or sustain?
Yeah, exactly. The reason why Allah made it obligatory upon us to fast in the month of Ramadan is for us to enable more piety, and to be more righteous. So when looking at some of our actions before Ramadan, so Ramadan is like we go on course training or some kind of a seminar to enable us to equip us more better in our line of profession. So as a Muslim, Allah says, لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ, so that you may attain more level of piety. So during the month of Ramadan, we were all God conscious. We observe our salat accordingly. Even for those who maybe partially or irregularly observe their early dawn prayer because of the early pre-dawn meal. So they almost make sure that they observe that prayer because it's around 5:40, 5:45 before 6 a.m. Unlike those who say there's maybe around 7:30 or 8 or even more than that. So this is what the Ramadan is all about. It came to equip us, to enrich us more, to make us to be more conscious of the real essence of what God created us for, which is absolutely to serve Him better.
So what does the Holy Quran say about missed fasts?
Okay, yeah. According to the Quran chapter 2, verse 183, I think 84, Allah said, Ayamun Maduda, they are prescribed, they are fixed dates, either 29 or 30. As some of us fasted 29. There are some other issues for those who extended theirs till another day. That's not for our discussion now. So when we're talking about 29 days, is the tradition of the sunnah of the Prophet, which is his tradition, says or action, is that sumu li ruyati, start the fasting of Ramadan with the emergence of a new crescent of Ramadan, and end it whenever the crescent of Shawwal, that is the next month, appears. So during these 29 days, for Allah says, وَمَنْ كَانَ مِنْكُمْ مُرِيدٌ أَوْ عَلَى سَفَرٍ, if any one of you is somehow fall ill or unable to complete his fasting, maybe due to heat exhaustion or inability to be able to cope with the pangs of fasting, such person is allowed to break his fasting. Not like, okay, I don't want to fast, or it has to be with reasons for us to be able to actualize that missed days of fasting. For a woman that is in her menstrual cycles, she can miss until she's pure, totally cleansed off from the impurity. Likewise, the postnatal bleeding. So these are things that we can categorize under Islamic jurisprudence of missed fasting during the month of Ramadan, which has to be repaid after the Ramadan.
All right, talking about the messages we heard during Ramadan, what should be done to ensure that these messages that were heard during Ramadan are sustained beyond the period?
Yeah, like as a scholar, when Ramadan is winding up, a lot of people will be coming up with some question, what next after Ramadan? Even to some extent, some people will have it as a theme of discussion. What next after Ramadan? To me, such question is not something to be asked of a genuine and a very reliable and practicing Muslim. Because, okay, what next after Ramadan? Are we going to, our Ramadan had come and gone, so let's just keep it until next year? No, that is not the issue. So we should sustain, we should elevate ourselves more than we have done even in the month of Ramadan. And there are actions that we can do to enable us to reach that goal of elevation, like continue our good deeds, the prayer, the obligatory and supererogatory prayers, because that's what we'll engulf ourselves with during the month of Ramadan. We observe our 5 daily programs, 5 daily prayers, as well as Taraweeh, which is almost like about an hour or about half an hour. So for us to be able to, immerse ourselves in such activities, there's no need for us to say, okay, let me relax back or whatever. We should do better and continue to uphold that, to sustain that righteousness that we have been able to pass through within 29 days of fasting in the month of Ramadan.
Now the fasting is over, life is back to normal. So what should Muslims do to ensure that that time for reciting of the Quran is there? Because you know they are faced with businesses and other things. To maintain that time, what should they do?
To me, I don't think life backs to normal. There is normalcy, even while the Ramadan is with us. But it's, the only thing that was there was just that we are conscious of, okay, foul languages, not taking meals, not taking drink. Even the husband and wife could sleep together, but they will know that, oh, we are not meant to touch one another to the level that we'll be arousing ourselves to the urge of, So, the normalcy is there. But just the conscious efforts from individual, like after Ramadan, a lot of people will say, okay, I really want to go into Islamic studies, because for little that I've had during the month of Ramadan with the tafsir, moving from one lectures to another, on radio, on TV, on social media, we are all, there is no any lacuna all this period. So some will, okay, I really want to go into it. Even some non-Muslims, okay, I think I have some kind of divinity in me that invites me that I should change my faith. All those things so are there for us to imbibe in. Not to say, okay, Ramadan has gone, okay, let me go back to my normal self. No, because during the Ramadan, there are some people that say, okay, during the Ramadan, they used to cover their heads, they don't expose their body. I think this is better for me because I look more reserved and all those things. So that is what the Ramadan is all about, and it has come with us.
Thank you very much, Imam Abdurrahman Lawal, for sharing your thoughts with us.
Alhamdulillah.
Time now for a break. Panorama continues shortly. Thanks for being there. Families of victims of Uromi tragedy have joined Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf in commending the governor of Edo State, Monday Okpebolo's compassion and solidarity towards them. This was as the governor paid a condolence visit to Torankawa community in Bonkure local government area of Kano State. Abdullahi Mustafa has the details.
Community in Bunkura local government area of Kano State is grappling with sorrow rather than celebration of this Eid al-Fitr season. The usual joy of the holiday has been overshadowed by a tragedy as 7 of their sons were among 16 travelers murdered in Uromi, Edo State while on their way home to mark the festive occasion. Yet, Torankawa's grief is not one they bear alone. In a gesture of solidarity, Edo State Governor Monday Okpebolo visited the mourning families alongside his counterpart Abba Kabir Yusuf of Kano State. Governor Okpebolo, who addressed them in Hausa language, promised not only that justice would be served, but also that the affected families would receive the necessary assistance during this difficult time.
So far, 14 arrests have been made, and the suspects are in police custody. Everything will be okay. By the grace of God. Thank you very much.
The visit was appreciated by the community, with local leaders, including the Emir of Rano Muhammad Isa Umar, expressing their gratitude for the compassion. In Kano, Abdullahi Mustafa, NTA News.
University of Public Relations and Leadership has secured the promise of the Nasarawa state government for its takeoff in 2026. The state governor, Abdullahi Sulei, made the promise when the president and chairman of Governing Council, Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, briefed him on the development concerning the university being powered by NIPR. Hamman Jabani reports.
A university that prioritizes public relations and leadership does not just educate, it inspires. Effective leaders foster inclusivity, resilience, and vision, preparing graduates to tackle real-world challenges. By investing in both, universities does not shape students, they shape society, producing tomorrow's leaders who are ready to engage, influence, and lead with integrity. These are some of what the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations and Leadership University, which will be situated in Nasarawa State, is believed to be the first of such kind university in the world, will be having its first matriculation around November 2026, seeks to achieve. Highlighting some of the progresses made towards the takeoff of the university, President and Chairman of Governing Council, NIPR, Dr. Ike Nieleaku, says much have been achieved in the area of collaboration with other institutions, while arrangements are still on the issue of the venue for the takeoff of the institution. He stressed that PR and leadership will create a dynamic environment where ideas flourish, relationships strengthen, and the university's mission move forward with purpose.
We want to raise a generation of qualitative leaders for the nation who are vast in effective communication. So it's a university that everybody should come together to see to its establishment. We are really looking forward to partners, more partners, to come and work with us to establish this legacy for Nigeria.
Governor Abdullahi Sule of Nasarawa State says he wants to leave the state better than he met it, and having the NIPR Public Relations and Leadership University is one of such legacies, and the government will do everything within its power to see the dream of having such institution coming on stream.
But I assure you that from here, we take up. In fact, I have become an automatic member of the PIC right now. I want to be part of it. I want to know what is happening at every point. I want to follow it myself. I want to visit the site myself to make sure that this is happening, because this is good for Nigeria. First, it is good for Nasarawa State. Forget my village. It can be any other place, but let it be Nasarawa State.
He's an investment-driven governor, and then he sees leadership as public relations and public relations as leadership. So for us, we're truly and totally happy and excited in Nasarawa State to host the university and to bring the eyes of the world to come to Nasarawa State, see another Harvard or another Stanford right here in Nasarawa State.
NIPR used the opportunity to inform the governor of the Nigeria's hosting right of the World Public Relations Forum in 2026. Hamban Jabani, NTA News.
The Bayelsa State Deputy Governor has called for the eradication of quackery in journalistic practice and continuous training of practitioners to achieve global best practice in the profession. The Deputy Governor made the call when the Bayelsa State Council of the Nigerian Union of Journalists visited him in his office in Yanagwa. Gift Ogbe was part of the team and files in this report.
Since the emergence of social media, fake news and misinformation has become the order of the day, inducing people to fact-checking information before it could be confirmed that the information is true. This situation, the Deputy Governor noted, prompted his concern and for professional journalists to reawaken their practice consciousness to continue to gain the trust of the people over the influence of social media. Senator Lawrence charged journalists to adhere strictly to ethical standards and assures the visiting officials of Nigerian Union of Journalists of government's resolve to continue to support the profession as partners in progress. The Deputy Governor challenged journalists to be painstaking in doing investigative work like the days of the late Delegiwa and Ray Ekpu to bring out facts that will further encourage accountability and transparency in the polity.
Investigative journalism appears to have almost waned and disappeared. So it's more of them say that was the profession at basic. Reheku, Delegiwa, Momo, now even the living people like Shoba and the rest of them.
We started the process, we started this administration by undertaking membership audits, where we identified every single member of council. We equally have known those who are certified to practice. We know those who need support for further training, so that the quality of reportage from the Bayelsa media environment will be felt.
The council chairman used the forum to remind journalists of the constitutional expectations and urge practitioners to be careful of giving out false or fake news. In Yenegua, Gift Ogbe, NTA News.
That's Panorama from the Lagos Network Center of the NTA. Thanks for watching. I am Hinginu John Adams.